Hello, welcome to week 3 of Stammering blog. Hope you enjoyed the previous 2 episodes. Thank you to everybody that's watched it, liked it, shared it or commented on it. That's great, thank you very much. Now I'm going to go straight into questions because there's a lot I want to cover this week and I'm aware I want to keep it to around 10 minutes. So, after the first week's blog, somebody commented and asked what was my most embarrassing was my most embarrassing situations. So, lots really, hundreds and hundreds, but there's always 2 that always spring to mind. One was when I was at a train station and I was trying to say where I wanted to go to, and this completely froze and there was no sound, it was just block there, and the person behind the counter got very frustrated with me and eventually threw a pen and paper at me and told me to write it down. Which, at the time wasn't great. But yeah, I can look back now and smile, but at the time it was difficult. The other one was when I was at a club stroke bar and it was my round and I went up to order a round of drinks and I couldn't say what I wanted to and I was really struggling, and the guy behind the bar thought I was on drugs, so he called the bouncers and had me escorted off the premises, which was an experience. I don't think I've ever probably told this to my mates, so my mates might be watching this now and smiling because they just thought I didn't want to buy my round, so I went home, but that did actually happen, wasn't just a cheapskate. So they're the 2. I could go on and on, but I won't. Somebody asked, which kind of leads me into what I want to talk about anyway, so it's quite good. What is the success to control? Good question. I'd say first of all you need something to use to control, so you need to learn a technique or a way or do something different to what you've always done. You know, if you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always got at the end of the day. So you need to go and do something, learn something, and for me it was going on the starfish project, but it's not just about that as well. Like I said before, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So just by going on a course, they're not going to wave a magic wand and off you go. That just doesn't happen. So, what is a success to control? Doing something and then commitment to doing that. But then also a massive change in mindset as well. And for me, what keeps me focused is pushing comfort zones and what I'm comfortable with, and talking about my stammer, which is one of the reasons I've decided to do this blog. So by doing that, it keeps pushing me and keeps my speech on my mind and where I'm at with it. So talking about comfort zones leads me to a thing I did last week. So last week I did like a interview after a football match. So this is like a fans group, fan channel, if you like. I know lots of clubs have them. So my club, Aston Villa, if you didn't know, for my sins, they have a fan channel and they do what they call fan cams after a game, where they seek people out and interview them and ask them what they think and record it and then obviously play it back on YouTube for everybody to see. So I've wanted to do this for a while, but an opportunity came up to do it on Saturday. So, right, let's do it. And it was good. I wanted to do it to like I say, push my comfort zone. It's good speech practice, something I'm not used to, and I'd like to do a lot more of. So my aim was just to do it first and foremost. Secondly, obviously, I was a bit worried about my speech, how it would come across. You know, this isn't talking about stammering like I am here. This is talking to people that I'd only ever communicated via social media before, didn't know I stammered. So it was a bit nervy, if I'm going to be completely honest. But I did it. There was times during the end of the game when I thought, do you know what? Let's just jump in the car, beat the traffic, and I was going to use that as an excuse to not go and do it. But that was my stammer telling me that, and I knew if I'd have done that, my stammer, those gremlins that sit on my shoulder that I talk about in the awareness day video, you know, they're there telling me don't do this. So for me, if I'd have done that, that would have been the stammer winning and the stammer taking control. And obviously what I try and do is I try to take control of it. So I did it. I was really chuffed and proud of myself that I did it. I knew during it, so there's a bit of a cue, so I could feel, you know, that apprehension building. But I still wanted to do it. It went okay. When I watched it back, I knew there was some blocks there and repetition, but until you actually watch it back, it was difficult to tell exactly how it went. So when I watched it back that night, if I'm honest, when I first watched it, I was a little bit disappointed of how my speech come across. There was periods of disfluency and stammering there, but actually afterwards, after I'd had time to reflect on it, that's fine, you know, that's good. Put myself out there, and actually the fact that I stammered through it, it's what I do. Stammering is what I do, it's who I am. So the fact that I stammered and I wasn't bothered about it, you know, is the main point here that I'm trying to say, that actually it doesn't matter. You know, if you've achieved what you wanted to achieve and you've actually got out of what you wanted to get, it doesn't matter. So whether that's somebody that's got a technique or hasn't, so if you haven't, you know, it could just be ordering your meal at what you want and not what you can say. And actually, even if you just block and block and block, have you got what you wanted to? If the answer is yes, it doesn't really matter how it's gone. Yes, in a lovely, fluffy, ideal world, speech would be great and nothing, but, you know, I stammer, it's what I do. So the fact that I did, it's not a problem. And, you know, that video has been viewed over 1,000 times, I think, and whatnot. And, you know, that's great because people, you know, will see that and think, wow, that's pretty good. If he can do it with a stammer, so can I, or maybe even somebody with a stammer's seen it and gone, great. So, you know, it's about pushing those comfort zones all the time, really. So going back to the original question, which is, what is the success of control? It's that, and working on something with something that you can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to that video that I did for the Villa fan channel on the comment section. So if you're interested and you've not already seen it, take a look. That's me, stammering. So have a look at that. Comment what you think about it, please. You know, this is all about interactions with yourselves. That's why I'm doing it. in preparation for next week, and it's a bit about what I've been saying about, you know, whose problem is it? It's theirs. Is I'm also going to put a link to a video of Mushraf, which probably you mostly know about, on Educating Yorkshire, but it's the Gogglebox version. So it's the version where they didn't know, and it was that initial reaction of people. So it kind of fits in with what I've been talking about, and I'll discuss it further next week. Give that a watch as well, and put your comments on about how you felt people reacted before they realised, and also about what kind of reactions you've had before and people's responses, and we can get a bit of a discussion going. That'll be great in preparation for next week. I'm at over 10 minutes, so I'll sign off for this week and look forward to speaking to you next week. Bye for now.